Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to start cleaning up the block and getting it back together. Thought I had some flexigauge, which I did. It's gone bad. So we'll just clean up tonight and hopefully I can pick some of this up tomorrow. We have our bearings, thanks to CP Competition Products. No, they are not a sponsor, wish they were, but they were very quick at getting those bearings to me as well. So appreciate that. I need to get this oil pressure sensor out. Not too fussed about that one. I don't really use that, but let's get that one out, and then we can get the seals out. We'll get the bearings out, and we'll go clean it up. We need to put the cross hatches back in, so we can do that. Alright guys, I've already got the dunny brush in there and put the cross hatches back on there. I've got one over here I'm cleaning up. This is going to take some time. I would like to get this one, if I can, back on the engine stand, because this will be the one facing down. I can't get the studs out. I can get a few of them out, but there's no point if I can't get them all out. Just making it so much harder. So yeah, we'll clean up the block. I'll clean up the pistons, my stock pistons, and we'll do all the ring end gaps and everything like that. We'll need to go back inside and download the workshop manual again. It is on my phone, it's just, don't know why it's not downloading. So I'll do that again, get all the specs, then clean up everything. I think this might have been an issue as well. Let's see. I used too much sealant and it's gotten into the galleries there, and I've already cleaned it out, but there was some in here, so there was limited oil into the rear main seal area. So you can see there as well. Sorry guys. So I've got to be very sparing with this. Yeah, this is going to take a while, guys. Alright, so I'm scrubbing around these seals. Look how much there is there. I've found a couple in here. There was actually a bit down here. So look at that. There's some in there. Too much, Glenn. Too much. Look at that. Alright guys, I've done both halves. I'm about to move on to the pistons. It's a bit wet still. Got to dry it off. But yeah, move on to the pistons. The pump that I'm using is actually seized up, so I've probably got some of that sealant stuck in the gears of it, but good enough there to clean up the pistons. Alright, it's getting on. It's about 11 o'clock now. I've cleaned up the pistons, and I just realised that my block is a AB block, so that's the bore size. With my pistons, I've got an A, a B, and an A. So these are my original ones. I want to go have a look at the workshop manual and see what the difference is. I'm going to have the B on 4, so it says B is 4. The other B is on 1. So yeah, I'll go check out what the difference is. But yeah, I'll like I said, it's getting on. I'll do piston ring end gaps tomorrow, clean up the crank, and we'll get the rods on. Obviously we'll put cardboard down like that side. We'll make sure it's nice and clean.
Eventually.
Alright guys, so I'm finally back. It's the following Monday. I don't think I've been out here for like nearly a week. So I'm going to get one of the case halves onto the engine stand. The one where I can put the seals in. So what I'm going to do is, I've got flexigauge, Then measure all the bearing clearances, pull it all apart, gap the rings, and start putting it together. Got some steel wool, some quad 0, so it's pretty fine, it won't damage anything. Just to clean up the mating surfaces, get rid of all the crud, have a nice clean surface instead of using a scourer. Like, it's pretty good. Been struggling to get out here, but kicked myself in the butt and got myself out here to get this back together. A lot of measuring tonight, so it's going to take a little while. You might be able to hear it's raining. It's been the best weather. It's supposed to be nice spring weather, but rain, rain, rain. So let's get this going. If you're wondering why I'm trying to put it on here, because of the studs. I can't flip it over onto the studs and measure everything properly. And it's going to be easier for me to turn it around on here and do the case half bolts than flipping it around onto the studs. So that's why. Alright, so I got one of the case halves on there. So now I need to put the bearings in and put the crank in, and we'll put the flexigauge in, put the other case half on, bolt it together and torque it to spec, pull it all apart, measure the clearances with these, see if it's all good. If it is, great. If it's not, I'm not sure, but I'll let you know what the range is. I think it's actually past this. Is 0.01 to 0.03. So we want this last one, the thickest one here. Anyways, let's get stuck into it. Got the bearings up here to put in. Also need to do clearances on that crank with the big ends. It's gonna be fun. So yeah, a lot of measuring tonight. Alright guys, you might have just been able to see me there because it was a time lapse, but I got some flexigauge onto all the main, so I got the 5 there. So I've got the bearings in the other case half over here. I'll lift that up, put it on, and I'm going to torque it down to spec. We're going to pull it all apart and we'll check how thick these are. Cool. Takes a bit of time. Alright guys, I've got all of the bolts in, but somehow I've got one left over. I've got to find where that one is. It's dinner time. Go have some dinner. I'll check out all of the torque specs. We'll come and torque it after dinner. Flip it over, pull it all apart again, and check the clearances. Alright guys, I'm back. I've got the torque wrench out. It's 47 Newton meters for all of the bolts. So we'll nip them up and then take them off and check the clearances. Gonna make sure that I don't turn the crank, otherwise I'll ruin it. But yeah, we'll torque all them down and get it all out again. I just need to find my adapter. Alright guys, so I've got the other half off and this doesn't look too good. It should be at this side. I don't know if you can see it there. But we are way out of spec. I don't know if it didn't feel like it was torqued properly, but My torque wrench might be out. That's the problem. Didn't feel like 47. Alright guys, just recalibrated my torque wrench. It was way out. This nut had come loose and that section fell out, so it was all wrong. Managed to get it all done. If you want to know how I did it, comment down below and I'll show you. Anyways, we got to do this flexigauge again. So I've cleaned off the old one. Let's put new stuff on there and then we'll torque it down. You'll definitely be able to tell the difference now. Alright boys, we are looking much better now. You can hardly see it. There, middle one, we're there as well. Back one, we're there as well. This one, we are more than that, less than that, in between. And same with this small one. So we're on the limit on these two pretty much. These ones are all good. Maybe even, yeah, they're good. Let's clean them up. Alright guys, it's getting late now. I've done all the clearances on the Manley Rods. So we're at factory spec with that for oil clearances. We've got clearances on main bearings. So tomorrow I'm going to do the piston end ring gap. And then we should be right to start putting it back together. I've been looking through the workshop manual and I realised I put way too much sealant on here. You're only supposed to put a little bit through the around the holes, and I've got some down in these galleries. I think that's what the issue was as well. Also I got them in here as well, which you shouldn't. And in here I had a little bit in here too. So yeah, I stuffed up. Got a bit of cleaning up to do still on the engine. Still a bit of crud in there. But yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. Alright guys, it's the next night. It's about 11:30. So I've been doing all the piston rings. So they're all the same. I've already done all the rings. I'm reusing them. So I've already gapped them previously. I just checked them. I'm happy with that. Put the seals in. I'm ready to put the crank in. Just need to put some assembly lube on. Put the crank in. And then put some schmoo on here. Just a little bit. I'll follow the workshop manual. So I went a little bit too crazy last time and got some in here and here and in these little valleys, which I shouldn't have. So yeah, assembly lube, crank will go in, and the block will be back together tonight. Alright guys, got it back on the engine stand. It's all together, all torqued down. Just got to get the pistons in. I'll do that tomorrow because today it's 12:18 in the morning. So yeah, getting there. What I'm actually doing with the pins, put them in the freezer because they are tight in the stock ones. Obviously there's nice movements in the small end of the rod because they are the matching Manley ones. So yeah, we'll just keep going on with getting the pistons in. So orientation for the piston rings by the factory workshop manual is quite a bit different to the Manley ones. So the factory calls for 180 degrees and at 90 degrees. So I'm putting the top one towards the front, the bottom one obviously 180 out from that, so that will go towards the back. And then with this oil ring as well, we've got it down here, so we want the bottom gap, which is currently sitting at the bottom. We want that to be around the other side, 180 from that one. Alright, get the frozen gudgeon pin out. Don't know why, because it shrinks it, makes it easier to get in. Put in some honey. Should go in quite easy. Oh my god. Well, that was easy. Now we'll get the retainer in there. Clean that up. Be easy. Why? Alright guys, all of the pistons are in. The only clip I can't get in is this one. I could get this one in, which is great, but as you can see, I still need to do stuff to the back. So we're going to get this off the stand and onto the bench, but that's going to be for next episode, guys. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button, and I'll catch you next episode when hopefully we get this back together. Not in, but back together. Thanks for watching. Bye.